prayer offered in faith, and every effort poured into making this day a reality. At this most meaningful moment, let us lend our ears to Crisaline Eliza Picandoza with highest honors from grade 12 STEM Faraday as she delivers her message of gratitude on behalf of the graduating class. There are moments when things didn't go the way we planned. You give your all. You expect something in return. But still, it falls short. And what stays with us is not just the loss, but the question that comes after and lingers in our hearts and minds. Why? Bakit kaya? And maybe that is something that we all understand. Because behind every success that we celebrate today, there are also moments that we rarely talk about. And somehow, those very moments gave us the pride to be here today. And those moments led us all here. To our respected school principal, Mr. Ruel S. Laririt, to our dedicated public schools district supervisor, Dr. Maria Lourdes Rico Hermoso, our honorable barangay captain, Mr. Armando P. Pedregal, our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Ronaldo M. Esclanda, our beloved teachers, proud parents, distinguished guests, and to the main characters of this event, my fellow graduates, good evening. A wise educator once told me, at alam kong marami sa atin ang nakarinig na nito. You know, that one person who can make us all laugh in the middle of pressure. The one who turns even the most complicated lessons into something that we can all understand. And somehow, without you realizing, it already motivated us to keep going. And he would always remind us, pagkatapos ng lahat ng pagkabigo, pagkatalo, at pagkalugmo, he would always say that every rejection is a redirection. Simple. It sounds comforting. Pero kapag ikaw na pala yung nasa sitwasyon, ang hirap-hirap na niyang paniwalaan. Sometimes, redirection does not always feel like rejection does not always feel like a redirection. And sometimes, you feel like you're stuck in the moment. And we all have our own stories of rejection. May sarili-sarili tayong kwento ng pagkatalo at pagkabigo. And as for me, I had mine too. Hindi lang isa, hindi lang dalawa, pero napakaraming pagkabigo. To the point that I would question myself. And to the point that I would question that very quote that I've said earlier. Nasaan na kaya yung redirection na yon? Naliligaw na yata ako sa paghanap nito. As a graduating student, this year is our last year to represent the school and prove ourselves. And first was during our research competition, Division Science and Technology Fair. Together with my teammates, Venice and Nini, binigay namin lahat. Todo effort, todo practice ng pitch. Puyat at gastos, kakaayos ng prototype, kakabalik-balik sa aming IT. But we believed na may patutunguhan lahat ng ito. And then there came the day of the competition. Our confidence was on top. And after our presentation, we believed that finally our hard work will pay off. Then there came the awarding ceremony. At pang-una kaming tinawag. Pang-lima sa pwesto. We lost. And I remember that feeling vividly. It wasn't anger, but rather confusion. Bakit kaya? How could we lose when we truly gave our all? But looking back, I realized that we weren't alone. Because standing beside us were the people who never felt like we had failed them. To my hero fam, Venice and Nini, thank you for the memories that we've shared even in the shortest period of time. To our research coaches, Sir Jomar, Sir Perry, Ma'am Leia Agnes, and Ma'am Maylene Go, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng pagalit, mga panahong lahat ng grade 12 students na researchers ay ayaw sumunod, pahuli-huli, hindi nag-practice, daig pa ng grade 11, sabi nga ni Sir Jomar. But thank you for guiding us with patience, for correcting us with care, and for believing in us when we struggled to believe in ourselves. And that's when I first realized sometimes rejection isn't about losing. It's about showing you who will stay with you when it matters the most. And I thought my rejection would end here. Then there came journalism. After several years of writing since elementary, practicing and growing, and in my final year, I told myself, siguro ito na yon. I practiced. We tried a new technique of writing, and I trusted myself fully. And for the first time in my 7 years in journalism, writing felt easy. Sobrang gaan ng lahat. To the point where parang praktisado ko na yung sinusulat ko. It felt right. Then there came the awarding of the top 5. And guess what? Wala na naman ako sa listahan. Once again, talo ulit. And this time, it hurts more. Not because I wanted to win, but because all I wanted was a chance. All I wanted was to step into the regionals, katulad ng mga kasabayan ko, ng mga kaibigan ko. Just once. And it didn't happen. And eto na naman. I questioned myself. But like before, I wasn't alone. So my journalism coach, Ma'am Eunice Regino, maraming salamat po for guiding me and for believing in me. Kahit na kada practice po natin, hindi natatapos nang hindi ako naiyak. Thank you for reminding me that progress is more than just recognition. And to the people who stayed and supported me silently, thank you. Because that rejection didn't take away growth. It gave me another perspective. It gave resilience. It gave me a deeper understanding of what I could truly accomplish. And that is to write with a heart and a purpose. Then came the third, which is one of the most heartbreaking moments for me during my senior year. Our final competition, the Division Festival of Talents. And by this point, we knew what giving our all really meant. And so we did. Balancing projects, academics, and preparation, we pushed ourselves further than ever. Kahit na gabi-gabi akong naiyak, kami ni Audrey, because Audrey is my teammate, dahil yung susundan naming team, Kuya Christopher, Kuya Anthony, and Venice were national champions. So the pressure to win is really there. And this first time to encounter such contest, I didn't know what to do. I was so lost. But we trusted ourselves. And in that moment, I felt joy and relief all at once. Because finally, we won. And for my final year and for my final chance, I get to represent our division of Marinduque. Finally, it all made sense. And something I've hoped for and something I prayed for every night came true. But then not long after, I realized that life never stops teaching. Because on March 13th, the day that we were told that on March 24th, we would compete at the Regional Festival of Talents. And that very next day, March 25th, was my 18th birthday. But then, we've received a bad news. That night, my grandfather passed away. And our coach asked me, Crisaline, tutuloy ka pa ba? And I know I had to act fast kasi malapit na yung pasahan ng requirements. I didn't have the chance to decide because kailangan na talaga siya. And I found myself at the crossroads. Should I continue and represent our school? Because that is something I've prayed for. Pinagdasal ko yun for how many months? We have reviewed for 3 whole months. Everything was ready. The requirements. Nakapag-review na din kami. Naka-ready na lahat ng gamit. Maalis na lang. But then, during that decision, when I was thinking about it, I thought, should I push myself to the competition? Or should I be with my family who is currently grieving dahil sa sobrang biglaan na mga pangyayari? And not just that. What comes after a loss? Habang we are grieving, I know we had some financial issues. And I don't want to add up to the problems of my family. So I chose to stay. Sobrang bigat na desisyon. Because ARFOT is something na gustong-gusto ko talaga. And for the first time, I was given the opportunity. Pero wala na akong magagawa dahil nangyari na. And for that, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Angeline, my junior high school best friend, for stepping in, and even with the last moment notice and no preparation, you gave your best. You are the first person that I've thought for. Kasi kilala naman po nating lahat si Angeline, na sa lahat ng competition, hindi po yan nauwi ng walang medal na nakasabit. She was very eager to bring pride to Landi National High School. And I will never forget that act of kindness. It allowed our team to shine, even when I couldn't be there fully. To Audrey, thank you for being the best teammate. And I hope you know that I am always proud of you. Noong mga panahon na nagdududa na tayo kung kaya pa ba natin. Kasi nga sobrang taas ng pressure. But you've always told me na kaya natin to. So thank you for that. And to the teacher who became my greatest motivator, thank you, Sir Perry. You saw potential in me when I couldn't see it myself. You didn't just point out what I could do. You believed in us strongly that your confidence became mine. And in moments when I doubted my abilities, when I thought, hindi pa ba ako sapat? Your encouragement reminded me that I could rise above every challenge. And your belief didn't just change how I saw myself. It changed the way I approach every obstacle, every opportunity, and every dream. Ikaw po ang nagtanggal ng kaba ko na mag-present sa unahan. Because before, back then when I was in junior high school, pagsagot pa lang, nanginginig na yung tuhod ko sa kaba. But when you became our advisor, tama nga yung sinasabi ni na Kuya Levy, ni na Kuya Christopher, at nung lahat ng naunang batch sa amin. You are the best teacher we could ever wish for. And because of you, I learned that sometimes all it takes is to move forward. Someone who refuses to let you give up on yourself. And that is what rejection have taught me. That redirection doesn't always lead you to comfort, but rather it leads you to purpose. And they weren't there to stop me or us. They were preparing us for something bigger. They were teaching us of what truly mattered. And standing here today, I realize that this journey was never just about me. It was about those who stood in every step of the way. First, to God, maraming salamat po sa pagdala sa amin dito and for guiding us to be graduates. To my parents, Tatay and Mama, thank you for being my constant In a world that often felt uncertain, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng sakripisyo ninyo na never niyong binanggit sa amin dahil ayaw niyo na mahirapan din kami. Mamanasan ka na po. Never niyo po akong pressure. Never niyo akong hiniling na maging perfect. You just let me be who I am. And because of that, I found my way. Sa lahat ng magulang na naririto po ngayon, maraming salamat sa sakripisyo ninyo. Hindi naging madali ang lahat, and we all have our struggles. Especially financially. Pero nagawa niyo po. And for that, we, the graduates, are very proud to all of you. Wala po kami ngayon kung wala kayo. To my siblings, especially Iya, thank you for being both my chaos and my comfort. Madalas man tayong magkaaway, or should I say, palagi, araw-araw, mayat-maya. But at the end of the day, alam kong ikaw ang kakampi ko sa lahat. You made even the heaviest days lighter. To my whole family, thank you for your prayers, your guidance, and your constant presence. To Tita Chris and her family, Tito Christian, Kuya Vance, and Kuya Vincent, thank you po sa inyong generosity, especially in times when we needed it most. Sa dalawang pinakamahalagang dalaga ng buhay ko, Lola Luz and Lola Wilma, single po yan. Maraming salamat po sa pag-aaruga, sa pagbibigay ng baon sa amin, at pagmamahal mula pa nung pagkabata. And to my Lola Rene, I hope you're one of the audience right now. I carry you with me in moments like this. And I hope I'm making you proud kahit hindi nyo po nabalitaan agad or hindi nyo po naabutan itong moment ko na to. To my Jello, thank you for a quiet kind of love. The kind that stays. The kind that listens. The kind that understands even without words. Sa lahat ng hatid sundo na walang sumbat, salamat. You became my pahinga in the middle of everything. To my advisor, Ma'am Evangelista, maraming salamat po sa araw-araw na pagalit. Kasi hindi po kami nagalinis. Sobrang kalat ng room. Laging late. Talaga naman. Hindi man po namin naiintindihan noon. But now, we fully understand. You didn't just push us to do better. You pushed us to become the better versions of ourselves. To the whole Landing National High School teaching force, thank you for creating a space where students are allowed to try, even when the outcome is uncertain. Thank you for going beyond lessons and grades. You taught us discipline, patience, and resilience. But more than that, you've taught us how to stand up after failing.
after
And that
failing.
lesson
And that
matters
lesson
most
matters
than
most
anything written
than
in
anything
books
written
and in
in
modules.
books and
That kind of trust builds
kind of
courage,
trust
and we carry that with us today.
built
To our school
courage.
principal, Mr. Ruel S.
Our
Laririt,
principal,
maraming salamat po for
salamat
being the
po
most supportive
for being the most
sa bawat
supportive
competition. Isang lapit lang po
sa
namin,
bawat competition.
napayag po kayo lahat.
Isang lapit
Agad.
lang po namin, napayag po kayo lahat.
Kaya lamang
agad.
po ay hindi po natuloy yung
Kaya
ating
lamang po ay
NSQ,
hindi po
but
natuloy yung ating
Still,
NSQ.
sa lahat po ng competitions,
sa lahat po
you
ng
were there
competitions,
supporting
you
us.
were there
And you
supporting
are
us.
not demanding
And you
na
are
manalo
not
po
demanding
kami and
na manalo
bring
po
a
kami
medal
and
home.
bring a medal home.
Gusto niyo lang po na mag-enjoy
Gusto
kami.
niyo lang po na
At sa
mag-enjoy
bawat
kami.
pagkabigo,
At sa bawat
you
pagkabigo,
were there to cheer
you
us
were
up.
there to cheer us
You
up.
were there to say na, oh, next year,
You were
gold na dapat
there.
yan ha.
To say, next
To my classmates, my family for the past 2 years, we weren't perfect. Sobrang ingay, pasaway, sobrang kulit. But we were real. And in the world that often asked us to pretend, that mattered the most. And this is your class president, never ever signing off. To my junior high school classmates who became my quiet light, thank you for making even the heaviest days feel softer. For being there in many words, in ways many words cannot explain. And as we always say, san man tayo mapunta, we'd always come back to each other because that is what the band Tungsten created. And I am always proud of you whenever you go. To my research groups, thank you for sharing both the pressure and the purpose. Those long, exhausting days became meaningful because I went through it all with you. We didn't just build projects, we built resilience. Sa lahat ng overnight na walang paalam, kahit na inasabihan paulit-ulit na mga graduating kayo, wag nang tumuloy. Pero dahil pasaway, tuloy pa din. Sa misunderstandings, sa mga panahong halos wala na tayong mahanap na resources, at sa mga panahong puno tayo ng duda kung makakalagpas ba tayo sa final defense. And in those moments, we questioned kung kaya pa ba natin. But we chose to stay, and that made all the difference. To Landi National High School, who became our second home, thank you. You didn't just give us education, you gave us growth. And to my fellow graduates, this is our moment, but this isn't our final destination. May mga araw pa na we will feel lost. Days when things won't go as planned. Days when rejection will visit us once more, or twice, or maybe even several times after. And when that happens, I hope that we remember this. It's okay to not have everything figured out. Ayos lang huminto. Huminga. Ayos lang malito. Because sometimes getting lost is how we find where we truly belong. We all experience rejection. Hindi lang sa research proposals, hindi lang sa competitions, kundi sa buhay. And maybe, just maybe, those rejections are not meant to stop us. Bagkus, sila ang magsisilbing tulay natin to lead us exactly where we are meant to be. Thank you and congratulations to all of us. To God be all the glory. Padayon, batch 2025 to 2020.